Imagine your body is like a campfire. To keep it glowing through the night, you have to keep feeding it wood. Whether you're awake or asleep, you have an internal fire that needs a constant supply of fuel to keep your heart beating and your lungs breathing. When you're out in the garden doing the heavy work of digging, you're asking that internal fire to burn much brighter and faster than usual. It's the same for students. Walking a long path to school or playing a hard-fought football match requires a large, steady supply of energy to keep your fire from going out. The nutrients that act as this essential fuel are called carbohydrates. They are the body's favorite thing to burn for energy. Most of our daily energy in Uganda comes from the food we grow ourselves, like the green matoke found in almost every kitchen. We also find this fuel in local staples like cassava, maize flour made into posho, and sweet potatoes. But just like different types of wood burn in different ways, not all carbohydrate fuel is the same. Understanding these different grades of fuel helps you stay strong and energetic all day long. To understand your fuel, think of how you'd build a fire using 3 different materials: dry grass, small twigs, and heavy logs. In the world of food, we group carbohydrates by how many sugar units are linked together. First, single sugars are like dry grass, igniting instantly for a quick energy flash. Double sugars are 2 units linked, like twigs, snapped apart for slightly longer energy. Complex starches are long chains, the body's heavy logs, burning slowly for steady, hours-long energy. You can find those quick-burning single sugars in natural honeycomb. The glucose inside is a perfect example of a fuel that hits your system instantly. For a double sugar, look at table sugar produced in Ugandan factories. It gives energy faster than a heavy meal, but slower than honey. Those long-lasting logs are found in the dense starch of harvested roots, like cassava. This fuel keeps a farmer going from morning until noon. So the longer the chain of sugars in your food, the longer that energy will last in your body's furnace. We rarely eat those heavy logs of starch raw. We use the heat of the kitchen to start breaking them down, making the fuel much easier for our bodies to use. One way we do this is by mixing starch with water over a fire. We call this the thickening process. At a tiny level, the hard grains of starch start drinking in the hot water. They swell up like balloons until they finally burst, turning the thin water into a thick, sticky paste. You see this thickening every time you stir maize flour into boiling water to make a steaming pot of posho. But what if you use dry heat instead? That process is called surface toasting. It breaks the starch into smaller, slightly sweeter pieces. You can see this clearly when you roast cassava on a charcoal stove. The dry heat browns the surface, making it sweeter than when raw. Finally, heating pure sugar melts it into a rich brown liquid with a totally different flavor. This is what we call sugar browning. When you master these 3 ways of using heat, you can transform raw ingredients into meals that are not just tasty, but easy for your body to burn. Just like a fire, your body stays healthiest when the fuel is in balance. Problems start when you have either too much or too little for your daily needs. If you eat more fuel than you actually use, your body begins storing the extra energy as fat. At the same time, too much sugar in your diet can lead to painful tooth decay. If you don't get enough fuel, your internal fire starts to fade. You'll feel weak and tired, and in some cases, the body even begins to waste away its own muscles just to keep the heart beating. Physical exercise is what puts the fire to work. When you run or play, you're asking the furnace to burn brighter, using up that fuel before it can be stored as extra weight. This science is also the secret to making great snacks, like banana pancakes. By understanding exactly how to brown sugar and thicken starch, you can create high-quality food that is worth selling. Tracking your costs and setting a price for your snacks is a great way to turn this knowledge into a small business. A healthy life is all about the balance of your plate. You can combine a quick burst of energy from a piece of fruit with the long-lasting, steady fuel of complex starches. When you master the science of your body's fuel, you don't just stay healthy, you gain the energy to power your own life and the health of your whole community.